Jose Young's here with Gilbert Melendez at the UFC 239 Media Day ahead of his fight against Arnold Allen here in Las Vegas. Now, it's been a while since we've seen you. What have you been doing in your time off? I know you've been doing a lot with Combate, doing announcing. Have you rediscovered your love for MMA in your time off? How's life been, I guess I should ask?
Yeah, I mean, life's been great, man. I'm blessed. You know, I really am. You know, I love being around the sport of mixed martial arts. I think I'll be around it till the day I die, whether it's coaching, doing some commentating, any sort of TV work, and fighting, right? And fighting. But I know this chapter, the fighting part is coming close to an end, but I'm trying to take advantage of it as much as I can before that time comes. My last fight, was not very happy with that, you know. Contemplated a retirement, you know, didn't put it out there, but just took some time off the mats. But like I said, man, the mats were calling me. I was coaching, I was helping. Then I was battling with my guys and then sparring with guys and just recognizing I can get back out there and do it. And I wanted to do it, so here I am now.
Well, that was going to be one of my next questions. How close were you to hanging it up? Like, were you ever that close to like just putting out there like, I'm done, I'm walking away from this sport?
I don't know if I'll ever put it out there like I'm done for good, but I was definitely at that moment thinking like, fuck, man, I'm done for now. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to try to live the retired life, live not training, you know, because like training is what I do. It makes me feel good. And I probably will train till the day I die. I did realize that, but just staying ready and, you know, feeling like you're going to be on a big stage. You know what I mean? Like going to bed every night knowing that for the last 20 years that you're going to have to fight on a big stage again. There's like devotion to the sport, right? Everything you do is like calculated, or, you know, there's always a repercussion to something you do. But yeah, I did contemplate it a little bit, but I'm here, you know, I'm here.
And during this time off, I feel like the landscape of MMA have changed. A lot of fighters are approaching this game a little differently with the rise of Conor and Ron and everything. What's the biggest thing that you've noticed changed in your time away or even when you began?
What do you mean by that? By Conor and like
well,
you've seen like what are you referring to?
Back in the day, you'd see like Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz would fight like next man up, like whoever's next in line will fight. And now you see these guys looking for these big money fights, like who's gonna make me the most money, not who's the most deserving. And in my opinion, I've seen that.
I see. Yeah, no, I do understand that. I feel like there's a strong business type of mindset with everybody here, and it is a business, you know. I like authentic people, you know, who are really like who they are. I feel like authenticity is huge, and some people are trying a little too hard and not being who they are. And but I don't blame people for trying to build their brands. You know, it just sometimes it's just not that you know, cringy, I guess, as they may say, is the word nowadays. But I do see that. I mean, but like on the real, I mean, the kids are just awesome, bro. I mean, kids are getting better and better, man. These guys are killers out there, and just the sport's evolving, and it's great. And I think it's a good thing for mixed martial arts, you know. So I do see the landscape is always, it's constantly changing, and I've been here for, you know, almost 20 years. So yeah, it's interesting to see.
And just looking at your past fights, you've like Diego Sanchez, Anthony Pettis, Benson Henderson, Jorge Masvidal. All these guys are basically going up to welterweight now. You're doing the opposite, dropping down. Was there any thought of, hey, maybe I could just bulk up and not have to cut all this weight?
Yeah, man. I mean, 150 would be perfect for me. I've always said that my whole career. I was a 45-pounder at the beginning of my career, and I went up to 55s because there was just no life at 45s, right? And then I go up to 55s, and all of a sudden the UFC gets rid of the 155-pound weight class. So then I go to Japan, and I fight 160 pounds because that's where all the best fighters in the world are in Pride. And, you know, come full circle here, you know, I'm fighting the best of the best. So at 155s, when you're fighting the best of the best, you're fighting Edson Barbosa, who's a freaking monster. Tony Ferguson's a monster. Those guys are all monsters up at that weight class, you know, where at 45s, you know, the best of the best are still huge as well, you know what I mean? So, you know, I'd go up. But it's all about the right matchup, right?
Sure. And against Arnold, a fighter that maybe not a lot of people would have matched you up with just looking at, he has like 4 or 5 wins in a row. He's not even ranked. That just shows how deep the division is. What do you make of his skill set going into this matchup?
I think he's a well-rounded fighter. You know, I think he's a well-rounded fighter. I think what he really got going for him is obviously his youth. You know what I mean? There's no secret. I'm 37 and he's like 25 or 26, I believe. You know, so of course.
To put it in perspective, I brought this up. He made his UFC debut when you were preparing to fight Benson, or not even his MMA debut, period, when you were preparing to fight Benson Henderson.
That was his MMA debut when I fought. Was I fighting for the UFC title?
He was 0-0 when you were getting ready to fight Benson Henderson.
Yeah, man. See, it's been it's been a long time. You know what I mean? It's been a long time, but he definitely has the youth going for him with the speed and you know, the lack of the less mileage. You know, less mileage. You know, I've been into some wars. You know, I've been into some battles, so he has that going for him. But yeah, so what I make of him, he's a solid fighter, man. He's definitely a young lion, you know. But I'm an old lion, and I got a lot of heart. I got a lot of courage. I got a lot of power. I got a lot of tricks, and I've been in there with the best, so I feel confident about this.
And what's more important to you on Saturday night, the W or performance?
Both, really. Both are, but performing, right? You know, I come here to like put on a. I want to fight. You know, I'm looking to get in a fight. I'm looking to stand toe. I'm looking to bang. You know, I'm looking to put on a show. I mean, that's what I like. You know, that's what I like. I'm here to create memories, and I'm here to, you know, to put things in my book. You know, and you know, I think some fighters will maybe go down undefeated and known as one of the best point fighters of playing tag and running away, you know, but you know, regardless, no one could ever take away some of my fights I've had, you know, and I've had some legendary fights. You can go back to Pride and go back to, you know, coming up here with Diego Sanchez, and we weren't, I don't know what we were, maybe I was ranked at the time, maybe he wasn't, but no one could take that away from us, you know what I mean? We'll be in the history books forever, where some champions will never be remembered because they never really put it out there the way we did.
Well, looking at wins versus performance, you brought up a lot of these young guys. Arnold Allen's countryman, Brendan Loughnane, for example, didn't get the contract on the Contender Series because he went for a double leg takedown with 10 seconds left. Dana White's like, what are you doing? Like, he won the fight. He's one of the highest ranked prospects in England, didn't get the contract. What do you make of that? Like, now fighters like, maybe I shouldn't wrestle if it's not going to get me a contract.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I mean, I think you know, if Brandon was fighting for the UFC title, you know, and he had it in the bag right there, that'd be a smart decision. But when you know you're going to go to Dana White's TV show, Contender Series, you know, it's his rules, you know, and you can't get mad at his rules, you know, and that's just his game right there. And it's like, if he wants to pick you up, he's going to pick you up, and you know, and that's just his rules, you know. So I mean, I'm not saying he did the wrong thing. I'm not saying he did the right thing. I'm just saying it's Dana White's rules when you go to the Contender Series. So I suggest you do whatever he wants if you want to get picked up. But I'm saying if Brandon was fighting for the UFC title and that was his fight right there, and he was up ahead and he went for the takedown, then no one would have cared. He would have won the title and been fine. But so I don't know what exactly it says about the sport. But I know the most memorable moments are when you remember when Max Holloway pointed to the floor with Ricardo Lamas at the last 20 seconds to bang it out, right? And that fight was really good, but that made me remember that fight because he pointed to the floor right there and they threw down crazy right there the last 10 seconds. So that's more memorable than that win, right? I don't even, like, people might not know whatever, but they'll remember that moment forever, right? And I think that's what makes you, you know, immortal.
And one thing I have to ask you specifically, I also asked Diego Sanchez this. UFC 238, Tony Ferguson won. Henry Cejudo won his second title. Tatiana Suarez won. Andrew Rees Jr. won the weekend before. And Diego Sanchez, when I asked him, he goes, "This is Browntown, baby." That's what he called. What do you make of this massive rise? And not just Mexicans, but Mexican Americans, like Chicano fighters, are now all of a sudden at the forefront of combat sports.
Hey, man, I think it's you know, it's in our blood, and fighting has been a big part of, you know, growing up. I watched every single one of De La Hoya's fights. I watched all of Julio Cesar Chavez's, not all of them, but you know, De La Hoya, I think, opened up on his fights cards, Chavez, you know, back in the day. So fighting's in our blood, and it's our sport where we succeed. You know, we're not in football, we're not, I guess, in baseball, but you go back over there, that's the stuff we grew up on. And now we're not only boxing, we're doing MMA and we're doing everything. And yeah, man, I mean, we got some warriors, and you know, that Mexican blood, got that warrior spirit, so it's cool to see.
Well, what do you think of the UFC? Dana White said he wants to build a PI down in Mexico to try and lay the foundation for it.
I think that's a fantastic idea, and I think that's like way overdue. Right. You got 160 million, you know, Mexicans out there ready to fight, you know, something like that, and there's not enough Mexicans, you know, out here doing it, you know. But I think if they get the right, we're lucky. I live in the U.S., right? I got Thailand coming to me, I got Brazil coming to me, I got Russians, I got everything here coming to me. I live in San Francisco, I got everything, including food and all that, you know. And Mexico, they don't have the black belts from Brazil going out there. They don't have the best Thai fighters going out there. But if Dana White, you do open up that UCP out there, I'd love to go out there and help coach some of those guys.
Well, I appreciate it, and good luck on Saturday. Yeah.